Yo, sup my man? It's another video, another week, another Fallout Friday. And we're still in the Vault 75, where they're very keen on having children in the vault. Remember? Maybe if you're watching this, the sequence is like, what, you think I'm stupid? Maybe you have a better memory than me, man. I don't know. Hey, I'm not prejudging you, man. I'm just saying. So yeah, we dropped off here, talking about memory. And we didn't really look around, so let's do that right now. Oh, I love globes, man. My mouse just did something weird there. A toy truck, a pen, Scepterpan. So symbolic. So hydraulic. 6'4" Impala. When they say where you from, they never say holla. Can't say the next lines because they involve gang activity. So many things that you can't say nowadays, right? The fucking swore not to swear again. I swore it. I swore it on my heart, but you know, it's so easy to do. Might seem a little immature of me, doesn't it? And there's so many dead things in here. I wonder how long these I don't know what these gunners they were. I wonder how long they have actually been here and roamed this area, because it's still like they didn't take much, if anything. Like I didn't see them carrying anything that what you would expect any random, you know, looter. Not a looter. What am I saying? Like just somebody with a gun. You know, like what would they have? They would have ammunition, some form of armor, and a gun. That's all they had. No F word in there. Okay, so these are. Testing schedule. What's this? But yeah, they didn't have any loot on them. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't really know what to expect. Mehran. Cool name, man. Closed for maint. What's that mean? Maintenance, right? Man, you crazy. Closed for lunch. Prep lab for PM. Error. It's human to err, but this computer sure does it a lot too. Testing guidelines. Invalid page system. I've done some pretty modernistic 70s type of thing. Private. If your name is not Rohit, wow, that's James, then butt out. Hi, James. Ones and K's? What the? Hi, James. Okay. 1534 military time. I was able to mess up the scheduling program. Wow, the system won't expect us to test anyone after lunch for a few days. But if you're right about the overseer having helpers, I don't think anybody's noticed. Or anyone. Anyway, this will give us some time to get things ready without prying eyes. You can leave me messages on this terminal, too, if you need. Should be pretty secure now. We can start smuggling ammo in here. Nobody should find out if we're pinching a bullet or two at the time from the range. Still need to figure out a good fuse, but it'll take us a while to get enough gunpowder smuggled in from the range before that matters. Alright. Resistance. 10:57 military time. What do you think we're up against anyway? Rohit said. Worst case, all the superiors we've ever seen graduate. That's not comforting, Rohit said. I really doubt it, though. I'm almost positive they're just gonna geek. They just got geeks up there. Maybe even just robots. Depending on the robots, I might take up top grades. Haha, yeah. I'm not worried, though. There can be as many of them as there are of us, and they're basically training us to be able to overpower them. We won't know until we know, I guess. So what I'm getting is that these kids, they were like, they had to exercise, and basically they got a Spartan upbringing or something, without all the gay sex. And I guess we're going to know real soon, Rohit says. So they're planning to have a revolt against the robots. Pretty interesting. It's like backwards Terminator. James, have you thought about what we should do with the little kids? Rohit said. If we hit the door during nap time, they should be safe. They should be safe. We should still make sure everybody push this forward as much as possible. Pop filter. I'm gonna get one, I promise. I hope that that'll work. We should probably have a few stay behind just to keep an eye on them, Rohit said. Good idea. We can trust Alma. Alma is back? Wow, that's great. Right? Why don't you talk to her during the testing appointment tomorrow? She's in. Alright, so they're recruiting. One's in K's. James! What have you thought about we should do with the little kids? I just read this. I'm drunk. Drove my car off of a bridge. Alright. So, I guess they just went ahead with 3 people, or like I don't know how many people they had. It's always good. Dog meat, like seriously, like I can see you creeping in my yeah, like just outside of my peripheral vision, and I just every time you give me a little shaky shake in my heart. One day I'll die, buried alive. Hopefully not. Don't say it. Don't John Lennon yourself, man. Don't do it. I figured I'm gonna get killed by the mob or a crazy fan. Really not, John. Yeah, whatever. It's kind of a predictive quality that makes it so eerie, right? It's like that, I don't know if it's actually true, but this myth, which I think is just being created retroactively about Louis the 16th? Yeah, Louis 16th. Who was afraid of the number 21 because some woman told him that, you know, this is your unlucky number, and then he basically got captured on the 21st when he tried to flee France, and then he also, what else did he get? Like he finally was executed on the 21st, and a whole bunch of other numbers of 21 in that lineup. But I just think that's like a historian retroactively looking at all those numbers and like making up some story. Like what's the likelihood that, you know, the king of France, of all people, is gonna talk to some gypsy woman with a crystal ball? I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. So, oh yeah, we have to go in here. We have to get a card reader and a slide. I probably shouldn't say anything because again, that's kind of disruptive. You're like, wow, I can really tell there's a sense of time in creating these videos, which I probably shouldn't do.
What the?
Just makes things dated. Self-critique. I'm full of it.
Let's rock!
Oh man, I'm not awake, man. Holy shit. But that was warranted that time, wasn't it? Man, thought police. Is there somebody else out there? I'm really happy with this gun, by the way. In fact, I think we actually can level up right now, and I have my eyes on this one perk right here, and we should be able to find more ammo. Which, I thank the gods for being able to do that. So thank you, Zeus and Thor, and Vishnu, Shiva. Thank you all. Prime Directive. Man, this sounds familiar. Prime Directive. Welcome to Vault 75. As outlined in your confidential briefing packet, Vault 75 is part of a top-secret military program. You have been selected for your professional credentials, experience, and commitment to the improvement of the human genome. It is the utmost importance that you follow the protocols herein. The mission of Vault 75, above all, is the refinement of human genetics. Your scientific staff will operate according to research schedule set forth by Schlet. That's got to be the most unfortunate. That just means slut. Braun and Lambe. So these guys are straight out of Auschwitz. You will be working with an overseer with a background as a military officer. Your overseer. Ah, man, I keep doing that. I'm so used to, like, I don't know what it was like in the old one, but you were able to go to the next page, like, in a logical way. There we go. We'll be responsible for training and maintaining the subject population, and we'll be working with what? Never enter sentence with a preposition. Not a preposition, but a proposition. Not a proposition, but a preposition. It's important that you and your overseer maintain a healthy working relationship. Sure. Experimental abstract. Okay, this should be interesting. Vault 75 represents an unprecedented opportunity to test our hypothesis that the human genome can be improved at a rapid rate through the combination of selective breeding. Wow. These guys are social Darwinists. Hormonal treatments, genetic modification, and accelerated generational cycle. The experimental objectives of Vault 75 are detailed in the handbooks which have been provided to you already. This experiment is intended to be carried out over multiple generations, obviously, but you probably need a lot more than just a couple, you know. As such, there may be unanticipated research opportunities that present themselves. Such diversions from provisional protocol are permitted at the discretion of the Chief Schlet. She's even called V Schlet, which makes it even funnier. It's for all my German fans that can't watch me. Because Vault 75 represents a long-term experiment in the closed environment, it will become important to replenish staff periodically. This shall be done by selective recruitment of outgoing subjects. We anticipate a certain percentage of resident population to exhibit high intellect scores, but insufficient physical capabilities to be qualified for genomic harvesting. These subjects may be at overseer and chief scientist discretion offered the opportunity to join staff. Those who refuse should be disposed of in the same manner as unqualified outgoing subjects. Fine. Man, for such an academic text, they don't really say vis-a-vis a lot. Please note that all internally recruited staff should be kept strictly separate from the general population for at least 15 years. They're going crazy in there. To prevent members of the general population recognize former residents among the staff. Man, that's messed up. Only the most trusted and capable staff members should be admitted to genomics laboratory, or laboratory if you will, like really fancy. It is the responsibility of the chief scientist to very carefully choose these staff members and ensure that they are sufficiently trained for their roles. Man, it's pretty crazy. I wanted to say something, but nah. It's not very interesting. Because Vault 75 represents a long-term experiment in a closed environment, it will become important to replenish staff periodically. I already did this. See, I'm really trying, guys. I'm sorry. I owe everything to you, and I treat you like this. Outgoing subjects aged 18 years old with aggregate scoring of superior or excellent. Excellent, dude. Radical. Across key physical, mental, social traits must be escorted to the genomics laboratory to become the Aryan supermaster race. Processing should be done on an individual basis, logically, and with great care. Remember that successful subjects will be likely to be capable of overpowering staff, like James and Rohit. Reiterate to the subject that a brief round of vaccination is necessary and avoid arousing any suspicion otherwise. Each subject should have a file for processing which indicates which specific organic material needs to be preserved for future testing. Be sure that these directions are strictly adhered to and that the specimens are scored like in a good manner, or whatever they said. And the reports. So that was all the plans. That's all the abstract. This is what we should actually days until the next graduation. Many moons ago, must have died alone. Overall harvest was exceptional this year. Lots of superior ratings in physical categories. Many of our vital organ initiatives are paying dividends. Pain thresholds have been a mostly solved problem for years now, and we're finally getting past issues like cardiac arrest under heavy duress. Oh my god. These genetic thank you, mouse. The genetic material we're gaining this year should help the next generation meet goals we thought were still a decade or more off. Some concerns about aggression levels. We've had a few cases of psychological breakdowns due to stress over the years, but incidence has much higher in this group. Wow, I imagine so. Going to recommend we synthesize some new tranquilizers just to stock up. Food supply remains best delivery method for general population, but should be concerned about future with science staff too. Vis-a-vis. Man, it's kind of crazy. Recruitment. Man, this is a text-based episode, man. I feel like I'm back in 1992. Only needed one recruit to scientific staff this year, with Washington joining the genetics team to help me out up here. Subject's physical scores were very low, and he has consistently shown good problem solving and critical thinking. Overseer has, see, that's what they do. They always, like, they remove the from everything. Has concerns about his attachment to some of the younger members of population. I'm not too worried. His physiological profile shows that he is very suggestible, which doesn't really mean anything. We'll keep him on the observation deck long enough for those he had personal relationship with to graduate out of the population. That gives us some time to acclimate him to the experimental protocols without conflict. I had to acclimate to an accessible state. It was excessive to say. We just need to keep him in the dark until then. Yeah. Mental abuse. We're gonna create the Übermensch. Yeah. Yeah. Please refer to hard copies, manual re-entry recommended. Archive corrupted. And that was the what? That was the results? Or, yeah, the records. Because the devs didn't care about that, and I didn't really quite either. Hey, dog meat. It would be kind of crazy if, like, Rohit or James is at the end of, like, a hallway and he's
Lock tight.
okay, thank you. And they're just like, bye-bye, motherfucker. See, does that warrant it? Does it warrant it? I don't know. I just do it for fun, man. Like, ooh, yeah. We gonna snipe him.